I'm Abby, and I'm going to give you a very quick tutorial on how to curl your hair with a beachier wave instead of really tight ringlets or banana curls like from the 90s. So you'll start with natural hair for today, which is rainy and gross. So all I've done is shampoo, condition, and blow dry my hair. There's no other products in there. Anytime that you're going to use heat, you definitely want to use heat protectant. So I've already got that on my hair, and then I'm going to comb it first while my curling iron is heating up. I'm gonna do it all with a curling iron. This is the 1.5 inch BioIonic. Usually I do a 1 or 1 1/4 inch. This is what I have in front of me. So I'm just going to brush my hair out first. Get all the knots. And then typically I do mine into 3 parts. I start at the top of my ear, and this will be my first section, and I pull it over to the side and I clip it up. Then I use a light working hairspray, nothing that's too high of a hold. This is Redken Quick Dry 18, and I typically will use that or Fashion Work 12. Then I comb through or brush through again, just so that they're not stiff. Now on each of these, I'm gonna break these into 2 sections. So I just eyeball it. So each section is this-ish big. So you will wanna start with your back one because that's the hardest to see. So I just pull this to the front. Okay, so you're always gonna prep the strand first. So once your flat iron or your curling iron's hot, just run it through a couple times. That helps to smooth out your ends. And I'm gonna clamp. On my left side, the top of the curling iron is pointed upward. And then I'm going to twist it 1 time and then just lightly tap this to release it a little bit and slide it down. To get a beach wave, you're gonna leave about 1 inch or 2 out on the end, depending on how high up you have your temperature. I keep mine on 360. You don't have to hold it there for very long. And then you're just gonna tap, 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 and pull down. On to the next one. Prep the strand so that you can get your end pretty straight. Clip at the top. Barrel is pointed upward. Twist 1 time. And then you clamp, 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 just to slide it down. You might not even have to clamp it. To slide it, it might just go. And then you're gonna pull it out. Prep by pulling down. This also heats up the hair just a little bit. 1 turn. Pull it all over without burning your fingers. Clamp, 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 clamp. Twist again. Hold for a minute. Not a whole minute. Don't take that literally. I always do the ones that are closest to my face a little bit smaller, just because I'm gonna tease them a little bit to get it out of my face and to tease it together so that it's not always trying to fall forward into my face. Some people like to alternate the way that their curls go. If you were to alternate, your curling iron would not always go pointing, like the barrel pointing up, it would actually go down. But the pieces that are to your face, if you're going to alternate, always need to go back. So the curling iron always needs to be pointed up. Otherwise you're gonna have that 90s look. Now here's where you're gonna decide if you're gonna have a side part or a middle part. Sometimes if I'm going to do a middle part, I wanna tease this back here together. So I'm gonna have a whole nother section for that. And then I'm not gonna like tease it like the early 2000s, but I am going to use this Redken product called Quick Tease. Spraying it in, combing straight up. I'm gonna use the skinny end of my comb, and with just a little bit of an angle, I'm gonna pull it forward, and I'm gonna push in, down, and out. Now this is always gonna be your underneath hair, so it doesn't really matter how ratty it is, because you're always gonna have a layer of hair on top, and this just gives it a little bit of cushion so that it doesn't split. So then you have something like that. Some people like to do this after they have already curled it, but I take it into two sections, prep it down to get my ends smooth, and then this one, that's quite a bigger curl, so you might have to leave that one on, or thicker, a little longer than you have the others. Prep it down, pull it over. So if you have really long hair, it's all done the same way. You're just gonna have to twist it more, but you always start at the top. I'll show you again on this if you have super long hair. Okay, so let's go with the middle part, just so that you can see the alternating a little easier. So I'm gonna go in, eyeball my middle part. Earlier I said that I'm gonna tease this stuff here together. I'm gonna go ahead and get this smaller piece right here. Okay, so then I'm going to use, anything would work, even your light hold hairspray would work for that little piece there. But I'm just gonna kind of tease into this just a little bit. See how that's up and over now? Okay, so then when I alternate, this one for sure is gonna go away from my face. I'm gonna do these into 3. So if this one's away, this one will go forward and this one will go away. So I'll start with the back, prep, away. And then if you're gonna alternate your curls, this one would be the one that's gonna go forward. Same thing, prep the hair to get your ends smooth. Now, depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed, I'm right-handed, so this is still gonna go up, but I'm gonna twist my barrel backwards like that, and then do this way. If you're left-handed, this will probably point down for you, but still leave those ends out. And I kind of push it away from my face. See what I'm talking about? 90s curl, you don't want that in your front. Then this one's away. So then I'll light hold hairspray it one more time, let it set for just a few minutes, and then take a comb or a brush, comb, wide tooth comb or brush, whatever. If your hair loses curl really easily, don't use a brush, use something like a wide tooth comb. Then you can either, also if your hair falls out easily, curl falls out easily, just use your fingers. But start at the underneath and kind of work your fingers through. If it holds curl easily, then you can use your brush or your comb. But remember that you have that tease in the top, so you don't want to go in raking through that because that's gonna pull all that out. So then, see how this separates from where these two curls went different directions? That's gonna drive me nuts because this hair is always gonna fall forward and I had rather have it like back and kind of flowing. So I will pick up that whole section where the two of them are together and I'm just gonna tease into it just a smidge. That just holds it together. And I'll do the same thing with this underneath. And I'm just doing that so that it stays. Then I'm gonna take my fingers and just kind of twist them together. Then on this top part, where you can see that tease, I'll just barely rake over it to smooth that out. And then if you like super big hair, you can go to your underneath and you're just holding this tight and just kind of pushing into it. And you can do the same thing with all of this hair. Ta-da! Then you can finish with a high hold or firm hold hairspray. And you're done.